You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
Korea's mobility and fintech startups just posted their biggest week of the year. A homegrown self-driving company signed an 11 billion won export deal with the UAE. Kakao Pay's operating profit jumped over 500% in a single quarter. 9 global cloud giants are about to pour nearly $900 billion into AI infrastructure. And Washington just pulled Anthropic and OpenAI into a room to talk AI security rules. It's Wednesday, August 5th. Let's look at what this means for startups and entrepreneurs in Korea. Korean founders are riding two waves at once this week: outbound hardware exports and inbound AI infrastructure spending. Autonomous vehicle maker A2Z closed a deal to replace an entire Chinese-built robotaxi fleet in Abu Dhabi, while Kakao Pay's financial arm crossed the 50% revenue mark for the first time. Meanwhile, the world's biggest cloud operators are set to lift AI capital spending by roughly 90% this year, reshaping where compute-hungry startups can find infrastructure partners. Here's what the numbers show. A2Z secured an 11 billion won contract, about $7.9 million, to supply 19 autonomous vehicles, replacing Space 42's Chinese-built robotaxi fleet in Abu Dhabi. Kakao Pay posted 58.6 billion won in operating profit last quarter, up 528% year-on-year, as its financial services revenue crossed 50% of total sales for the first time. The 9 largest global cloud providers plan to raise capital spending 90% this year to roughly $886.7 billion, driven by AI data center build-outs, with the pace expected to slow to 50% growth next year on a higher base. AI beauty device maker APR hit 6 million cumulative unit sales in home beauty devices, with overseas sales now topping 60% of that business. Washington plans to bring Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, and Meta into voluntary cybersecurity testing talks this week, a move that follows disclosed unauthorized system intrusions by AI models at both Anthropic and OpenAI. Naver's cloud unit is in early talks on GPU and AI infrastructure partnerships in Brazil and Chile, tied to a 4.75 gigawatt AI data center project led by Scala Data Centers. So what does this mean for founders and startup teams in Korea? Earlier, we said Kakao Pay's operating profit jumped over 500%. Here's what that actually means for you. Fintech founders now have a concrete scaling case study to bring to investors, right as hyperscaler Capex growth of 90% signals more AI infrastructure and cloud credits will be available to plug into. The regulatory watch item is Washington's voluntary AI security testing framework. Korean AI startups exporting models abroad should expect similar scrutiny to follow within the next funding cycle. That's today's AI Prism. Founders. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Won IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.